I'm battling against the wind of time, the wind of my past, and the wind of future. See, I'm climbing outside myself to this safe haven inside my soul just to get away from my flesh. So I rest in the words of my Father. Let not your heart be troubled. If you believe in God, believe also in me.
Yes.
But see, somehow those words sit across my soul and they can't be received because flesh stands like a tree that's planted by the rivers of waters. So inside I climb to that safe haven of my soul sanctification, removing the scent of my past mistakes, and I'm standing on the stage for an entire world to see. What happens if they know my sins, Father? He said, I've forgotten them, so only the enemy can remind you of what I never remember. But yet, I still find myself battling against the wind of time, the wind of my past, the wind of my future. I'm testing my existence with persistence. I find out the me who I'm supposed to be. But somehow he responds to me, I made you in my image. You're fearfully and wonderfully made, and I called you for my purpose, so in me is where your purpose lies.
I have to bring the gospel so close that the paraplegics can reach it, the blind can see it, and the mute can preach it secret. I have to feed it to the hungry that seek it. I dream it, lust for and breathe it. My being screams to sit at the feet of its existence, to regurgitate its spiritual manner through these rhymes and stanzas. It's a medicated propaganda that demands to be viewed in full circle like panorama. I want the sweet nectar of heaven to massage my heart into an enamored submission, into the residue from my speech glistens from my dictions, depicting inscriptions to produce visions until they invoke decisions. This is my battle cry, that daily I die, daily I strive, and daily I rise, with His holiness saturate my mind, until righteousness pours from every pore, and I'm sweating the anointing, pointing toward the mark of the high calling. So with these verbs and soliloquies, I appeal to please and peel my knees to intercede the needs for which the pillage fiend. I convey the dream of the king, but I don't need a million man march of Martin Luther. But I grip, capture, and suture the view. We're pulling them in until they elect Christ like Hoover. I'm becoming a thorny and flesh like Paul the apostle. Every time I spit this hostile gospel and I cover skeletons in your closet like fossils, it's quite possible that I'll find your American idols renewing themselves every season, but you still question the stifled revival. But it's because we're not disciplined disciples, believe viral tendencies sitting idle. So this is my battle cry, to preach the truth to the concrete sheets while our sheep rest their head and sustain our heartbeats, to be strong for the weak that breathe the feet and can't sleep because their soul weeps. We can preach and teach Christ's unique feats, but when does one reach?
I don't know how to say what I want to say, can't pray what I ought to pray, because today in my way is all this confusion. Bruising my heel is the idea of His will, and my ill attempts to be in it. I can feel my spirit man spinning from the thought of me grinning at sin. What a joy to be in the middle of the fray. Wait, no, what I meant to say was the center of His will. God, why is it still so hard for me to be the righteous one you call me to be? Why can't I get myself free from the debauchery and treachery that follows me? Maybe because I like to be damned. No sense in fooling around with the truth. The proof is in my action. The fraction of me that is consecrated is being suffocated by the part of me that ain't trying to be a saint, just aim on the agenda. But I remember just this morning I prayed and laid my life before you and implored you to make me the best I can be, for you to use me in ministry. But wonder if you could wait for me to do this one thing right quick. And I'm getting sick of putting you on pause for no other cause than selfishness. And I'm confused about why you let this kind of thing continue. Since you're omnipotent, I know that it's in you to deliver me with one word or one touch. You could make me obey. You could simply will me to stay in fellowship, but I keep straying and playing with fire, having to claw my way home with the scars of dire circumstances I barely escaped. Gasping and scared, I thank you for being right on time but never late. And I'm confused about why, if my heart loves you so, how is it I continue to go so far left? The best of me keeps testing me and failing. I'm ailing from a sin-soaked existence, over medicated by a drug called persistence that seems to be a placebo, because I'm too rich in the work,